In this lesson, we will learn more about ngSwitch. This is just like a typical switch statement. Basically, what it does is it adds or removes a document object model element or subtree whenever a nest match expression had a match to a specific switch case expression. And as usual, if there are no matches, a common switch default will be shown. Alright, enough talk. Let's do some code. Previously, we used ngIf and ngFor to show a list of the stock markets. What we're gonna do here is that, based on a specific variable, it'll gonna show the equivalent stock market. So, if the value is NYSE, it'll show New York Stock Exchange. If it's LSE, it'll show London Stock Exchange, and so on and so forth. Alright, let's go back to our IDE. Then, let's go to Stocks component. Here, let's add another horizontal rule. And then, let's add div and switch equals to New York Stock Exchange. And then let's add the ending div. Then here, let's add our ngSwitch case. So we have div ngSwitch case. Then NYSE. Close it out and type New York Stock Exchange. And then add the closing div. And here, let's add another ngSwitch case. So ngSwitch case, and then type LSE. This for London Stock Exchange. And finally, let's add our ngSwitch default. So here, if there's no match on the given variable, it'll go here in the default. So we have here ngSwitch default, and let's say could not find a match. And that's it. We have now completed a very basic ngSwitch. If the value that we have here is NYSE, it'll show this, New York Stock Exchange. If it is LSE, it'll show this, London Stock Exchange. If there's no match, it'll show the default. Alright, let's save this, and then let's go back to our browser. Here, click Stocks. And as you can see over here, the New York Stock Exchange is now shown. This is because the value is NYSE. If the value is LSE, this should show as London Stock Exchange. So let's head back to our IDE and then change this to LSE and then save. Let's go back to our browser. And as you can see here, it's now changed properly. You may have noticed that we use a very basic example for a switch statement. And the value here is hard-coded. So now, what we're going to do is add a variable, let's say market, and then NYSE, and use this variable in place of here. So remove that and paste market. So now, the value of our ngSwitch is now tied up to market variable. So let's save this and then head back to our browser. And as you can see here, it still works. Now let's change this value to LSE. Then save it, and then let's go back. And as you can see, it's properly updated. Now, what happens if the value of our market variable doesn't match in NYSE or LSE? Let's try it. So here, let's use Hong Kong Stock Exchange, HKSE. Then save it. Then go back to our browser. As you can see here, it says could not find a match. Basically, this is the one defined in an ngSwitch default. And that's pretty much it about ngSwitch. In our example, you can add more switch case, something like HKSE and NASDAQ. So type here NASDAQ. So put here Hong Kong, and for NASDAQ, we remove this. Then let's go back to our browser to find the value of NASDAQ. So here's the acronym. Then paste. And finally, let's save it, and let's go back to our browser. And as you can see, you have Hong Kong Stock Exchange mapped to our market variable. So if you can change this to NASDAQ, this should be updated in the browser.